This is Mark Schwartz from MTC Media. So over the last about week and a half, we've heard a lot about the Washington Commanders wanting to secure about 200 acres in Prince William County, down in the Woodbridge area, to potentially put a new stadium and some new construction down there to build this big time complex that'll include more than just stadium, obviously shops, entertainment, so on and so forth, and how horrendously bad idea that is. First of all, let's start with the Virginia legislature. And this is why I didn't want to comment on this when it first happened. Right now, it looked like at one time there was all this support. Right now, it got shelved, which tells you some of the support for this has eroded. Also, the compensatory package that the Commonwealth of Virginia was willing to give at the beginning continues to get lower and lower. Some of it is that Snyder is being investigated by Congress, if you want to use the word investigated, looked into, whatever wording you want to use, because it looks like his books are a little awry. It looks like he was skimming on top, along with his owners, and kind of short shifting the league out of the money that should go into the general pot. There's also the whole thing with the allegations of a toxic workplace, and that has kind of scared some people off. If you're not familiar with Virginia politics, um, the one thing that I think is disconcerting to a lot of people in Northern Virginia is largely the people from Richmond and below are the ones driving this train and making a decision to put a stadium that's not going to be in their backyard with the traffic concerns. And there is a lot of big traffic concerns, because you think about it this way: you have what's called a hot lanes. If you don't live in this area, or you don't live in a state with hot lanes, that means that there are a set of lanes on the highway that are privately owned, and they are allowed to charge whatever they want to charge based on the flow of traffic. So, to give you an example, if you don't know, you could go to work, and to get on a hot lane, it might be $10. You can come home from work, and to get on the same hot lane going in the opposite direction could be $40. So think about that on a Sunday as a cash cow for the company that owns the hot lanes, because you're going to have, even though they keep saying a smaller stadium, um, you're going to have traffic both ways, which means, you guessed it, that people will want to bail out on local roads. My thing is this: if the Commonwealth of Virginia has all this money to give Dan Snyder, then they shouldn't be building hot lanes and charging the taxpayers in Virginia money to drive on roads that have already existed, that has been paid for by the taxpayers. So if you have that money to give, and I don't want to hear about the return on the money. So that's the other thing. Oh, they're going to make all this money. As a person who lives in Northern Virginia, my question is, where does that money go? Because the other thing about Virginia politics is they like to tax the dickens out of the Northern Virginia people, but then they go ahead and take that money and reroute it to their voting bases in southwestern Virginia and everything. So the people in Northern Virginia never see the money that is generated from a tax perspective. What it is it's rerouted to keep their voting bases, which cannot sustain, from a financial point of view, all the perks that they get. Um, they use Northern Virginia money to sustain it. So you get to keep your voting base, and you get to brag to them, I keep your taxes low. You don't have to take a da 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 da, because they're taking more taxes from me to pay for them. And that's the other reason why I don't care what the studies are. First of all, a lot of those studies are a piece of garbage, because it never comes out to what the numbers are going to be. And second of all, the people who live in Northern Virginia who are being inconvenienced aren't going to be the ones who benefit from it anyway. So yes, I have a giant, colossal no to the stadium. Dan Snyder doesn't deserve to get a new stadium. He does not deserve tax money. And frankly, the Northern Virginia area, yes, you do see my cat in the middle of the video. The Northern Virginia area does not deserve to have all the bad things that go with all the all the stuff that comes with building the stadium. So for me, gigantic no to the stadium, as DC, as Maryland. Marcus Washington from MTC.